this basic dichotomy in community management that I find to be really fascinating. In your everyday life, you're a member of several informal communities, right? You have your family, you have your friends, you have your colleagues, you have, if you're at school, you have your social groups at school, you also have your relationships with the faculty, there's the PTA, there's all these very informal communities that don't necessarily have explicit rules of interaction, but that you normally have this interesting dynamic where you recruit people to follow your ideas, you build consensus informally, and it's very effective. You get a lot of value out of these communities. You build a lot of engagement in these communities. They become a core part of your identity. And then when you're trying to build communities formally for companies or for nonprofits or whenever you're trying to build engagement from that, you toss out all that you know about consensus building and about recruiting and about connecting with people and engaging people, and you try to go extremely formalistic. You do things like advertising and explicit marketing, and you relentlessly hone your message. And it's very distancing. It doesn't actually build the engagement that you're looking for in the first place. So I think a large part of community building and community management in general is going back to these skills that you use in your everyday life of gossiping with people, of being interested in what they're doing, of talking about shared interests, of contributing based on your own experience, not to sell someone on doing things your way. I think that if we can do more of that in our explicit community building efforts, we'll be a lot more successful. And this is what we learned in open source, is we learned to stop messaging. We learned to stop advertising. We learned to get community building, take it out of marketing, and put it into engineering. Put it into the people who are doing the actual work and the people who are learning the actual lessons. It's actually a lot more effective to build communities in the open source world when the person responsible for being the community builder isn't someone who used to be responsible for getting a lot of people to click on an ad, but instead someone who used to be responsible for doing the thing you want the community to do, for checking in code to the repository or for filing bugs. Because it turns out it's a lot more effective when what they're talking about isn't, here's what I want you to do. It's, here's what I learned when doing things like the things that you want to do.